Conclusion's really fun to see. Sarah's really fun to see. I just like when Conclusion does the crazy stuff, you know? Like, Sarah's crazy too, but it feels more like most of the time it's really sound play. Whereas, like, Conclusion just actually, like, unhinged sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that marksman game I
it.
mentioned earlier will stay with me. Like, just
Yeah,
the start of that game alone was something else.
Truly, truly. Special game.
All right. First game here of the lower bracket, best of 3. Conclusion versus Sarah. Here we go.
Yeah, what are they going to pick here? They're taking their time. Rhino specials for Sarych. It almost looks defensive, but I would be shocked if that was a defensive setup. But who knows? I've never seen Sarah play defense for a couple of years now. Yeah, straight to the line we go. Bad pack here for Conclusions, like matchup-wise. Training spec, don't think it's really going to help him much here. Like, he could go for a blue marksman, but I'd be a little shocked to see it.
I mean, it might low-key be your best shot. Like,
could be
level 2 marksman, at least one-shots like arc lights and sledgehammers.
You could buy a Phoenix. Yeah, he's going for Phoenix.
Okay.
Dude, this is weird.
I mean, this is not going to end well on round 1. You have to imagine the units will get pulled, so I'm not sure we're going to get a debuff on the left. Although a Phoenix has moved over to that arc light. That is actually very significant.
It is, yeah. Yeah, the goal here is just like kill the marksman and then your Phoenixes win, right? Now there's a lot of stuff to chew through. This marksman relatively exposed at least. Honestly, there's crawlers coming in. I guess the Phoenixes might get it done.
Not looking too bad. A couple of crawlers still surviving, but the debuff here will come through. And I think that will save the marksman.
The Phoenix.
He was thinking about it.
I know. Okay. Kind of what you expected there. Some pretty tame cards. Mass-produced Wraith here for Conclusion. Conclusion loves his Wraith, man. And I'm not sure if this thing is going on the tower level or if this is going on the line. Like, this might be a all of a sudden I'm going to aggro you situation. Wait, is he even buying them?
I mean, I guess it doesn't make too much sense for now since there wasn't any chaff on the board yet.
Yeah, that's true. Guess he just wants to wait a little bit, but going to hold on to that card.
We're going to get triple chaff now, though, for Sarah. Triple crawler all the way in the back.
Yeah, this is a good move. Defends your flanks, gives you late chaff. You can see he puts them like really far back.
Yeah, the lovely thing about having sledges played this way is they kind of function as chaff by themselves. Like, they require 2 shots from the Phoenixes. The Mustangs don't really like shooting at them.
Yeah, they're great, especially in that vertical posture. Lots of crawlers streaming in, of course. Those were newly bought, and that's just causing tons of problems. Looks like we bought one more bird here for Conclusion. It's just not working out at all. Like, there's too many problems to solve for now, and I think Phoenix was a bit preemptive there.
Yeah, it's a rough matchup. I mean, he needs to kind of flesh out the board a bit more. I think the investment in the Sledgehammer there makes sense. Just kind of mirroring, creating a similar type of, barrier in front of your tower could be very useful.
And we get unit reinforcements round 3 here. We have an intensive for Conclusion, so he can make something giga leveled if he wants. Kind of interesting options as well, right? You have 2 giants, both good on defense, by the way. And then just like kind of some interesting rare units with good chaff clear.
And wow, we are going to see Sarah pick up the giant here and Conclusion running the Fire Badger.
Yeah, what a weird situation. What do you think about the unit choices here from both players?
Oh, all right.
So it's
Well,
money
we
for
are going
conclusion.
into Wraith. Yeah, just selling that Fire Badger instead.
Okay.
I mean, the Fortress is nice, right? Like, it threatens 4-A here, so it kind of prevents conclusion from going heavily into the Phoenixes.
Yep. And because they're mass produced, these wraiths, they have less HP. So even like the Fort Anti-Air are going to be denting those wraiths pretty heavily.
That's a fair shout. Yeah, we still have to see whether or not it comes out. But yeah, either way, should just be a nice frontline unit. Also good into sledges if more were picked up in front of the tower.
Yeah. Wraiths at least killing these blue crawlers. That feels good. They can kind of help take out these sledge lines as well if they pick up levels and so on. So looking a little bit better. We may be able to scam a air win here, but there's a pesky giant in the way. Oh,
Yeah,
nah.
it doesn't look like that'll be the case. Marksman shootout range here.
Wait.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, the death shot.
Oh. That timing was crazy.
I know. Okay, we got 2 spells, 2 call down spells. Sarych's gonna pick up the crawler call down. Actually, really interesting choices. Like 2 mobility options, 2 unit call down spells.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one as to what you go for. Going
are
to
calling
be the
down.
mobilized battleship. Yeah, that's expensive, but if you can get a debuff, maybe it's worth it.
I think it is. I think it's a great move here. You minus 50 the missile as well. You're gonna flank in with that bow to kill that fortress. And I think he kind of needs tempo here. I think he knows that he's sort of under-leveled and needs to solve a lot of problems at once. And sometimes you just need that crutch, right? Now we do see fangs on either side. That does not stop the boat drop, but it slows it down such a significant amount that it's almost completely parried.
Yeah, and I mean, in the meantime, that underground here should be covered. I feel like the Wraith might be able to turn for that.
Yeah, it won't get
Maybe
the
not,
towers.
though.
I don't think it gets the towers, but it should be annoying.
I mean, it might just... Oh, the Wraith actually do go forward. That's slightly problematic. That's going to create more of a distraction than this boat.
Definitely agree there. Yeah, definitely not getting the tower, but you can see the right side here for conclusion really not doing so hot. Look at that Rhino just charging in.
Late Rhino with the photon. Going to grab that tower. Oh, the boat has freed itself, though, so we'll finally manage to grab the debuff, but I think it's too little too late. Fortress at least will fall, so some nice hit points spared for conclusion, but that's about all she wrote, and that was a way more expensive spell and a pretty big loss.
Definitely agree there. That's a little bit rough to see. That spell did cost quite a bit here. We see more spells come down. Another battleship, obviously not going to be the pick for conclusion, considering it just failed and the fangs are there. And you have to imagine, yeah, bombard for both players here.
I mean, this looks a little rough, though, like going for those mass-produced Wraith into the existing marksman from Sarah, and yeah, I mean, with the investment, Sarah just immediately going for anti-air last round. We're going to go factory. Okay, so that was the play here. Corner factory has been unlocked with the efficient maintenance.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The efficient maintenance is a fascinating choice to me here. It's not that I dislike it. It's just like it shows a certain level of confidence, which I think conclusion often shows, by the way. But he's basically saying with such low HP, I'm going to be able to turn it around here, maybe even get a round win. And then what he's going to do is transition into a bunch of war factories, like at least 3. And he's going to start picking up like ball spawn, mech div. And we've seen him beat really impressive players with that before, like Scion.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised, though, because he doesn't run the other spawn techs, which is usually what you would expect with, like, efficient maintenance, I feel. But
I agree, yeah.
Maybe we just get to see multiple carry factories.
Yeah, we could see that too. I do think the ball summon will come out. We've seen him just use it before, so we know it's one of his favorite playbooks. But yeah, in any case, he... Yeah.
I just want to say this Rhino just noped out of there real quick. Like, it saw the quarter factory. It was like, nope. I'm going to go to the other tower. Thank you.
I would say Conclusion's win chances have gone up from buying the War Factory. It was looking a little bit like a Doomer prior. He's still behind, but he's got chances.
I mean, there's some pretty like big DPS options here available for Sarah. Raiden Ionize. I mean, even Void Eye.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that thing packs a punch.
I totally agree.
Maybe a little bit crazy to go for.
I think Conclusion sells a Storm. He needs money. He needs to really get these War Factories going. Is he safe against the air options? He's got 2 birds. He's probably fine. So he's just going to try and win the ground here, right? Here's the mech div I was talking about. He's certainly going to be summoning balls. His sell button is not usable anymore. He's already used it. So he's not going to be moving the War Factory. He's not scared of like that saber that popped up. He's just going to surround his War Factory with some mech div balls. And yeah, just keep pushing that side. The melter was put on the wrong side. Oh no, there's 2 of them. Sorry, guys. But we'll see if the melters can even get the locks, right? Looks like he's not going to be summoning the balls yet, though.
No, a little too expensive. I mean, mech div is quite an expensive tech to pick, and yeah, investing into more Wraith around the factory there as well.
Yeah, let's see.
Like, though, good locks on that high-level Stormcaller will take out the fortress pretty quick. Right side still able to distract the melter for now.
Yeah, pretty clutch what occurred on the left there. And the right side, there was just so many steel balls. We still have a sledge left, by the way. Phoenixes as well. We're locked on, but it doesn't matter. War Factory, quite the damage dealer. And even if Conclusion doesn't win this match, or sorry, this round, you have to say, this was pretty good.
Yeah,
Like,
decent round.
Set up.
Holding on. Factory doesn't burn too much cash here because of that efficient maintenance.
Yeah, true. Only paying 50 per round ain't too bad. So now Conclusion gets to activate his plan here. Like, I imagine ball summon and 1 more War Factory. That's what we expect.
Does feel like that would be the most logical thing. There is a photon emission available here.
Yeah.
Which will be picked up for Conclusion. Indeed. Ball spawn, 2nd factory.
So the scary thing here is that Sarych could go for EMP on his melters. I don't know if it would work or not, but it stops mech div. It can stop the production of the balls, period. I like the oil a lot because the left melter might be able to just duel all of the factories.
Yeah, the only like scary bit is having the factories travel a lot means that they also get to spawn all of their steel balls.
Yeah, that's true. We minus 200'd Sarah, by the way. Like, you see these 2 anti-missile devices. That was for that 1 storm. He just sells out of it.
Yeah, that is kind of wild.
Yep.
I wonder how Abyss would do here for Sarah. I mean, he's still on full health, so decently comfortable, but spawn factories like this can get out of control real fast.
Yeah, it's interesting you point that out. Because, yeah, there's not a ton of anti-air for Conclusion, like just the 2 birds. And yeah, they're tight right now. Yeah, it's interesting. It could be a line, but he's in the melters, and I guess he's going to give that a shot. We'll see how it does.
The active balls, though, are certainly the biggest problem, because the trafficker situation right now for Sarah isn't great. And, well, yeah, if you can't get rid of the steel balls quick and the crawlers that are within them, then you're in trouble. Quick tower debuff here, though, for Sarych.
Dude, it was 9 seconds, right? Like, he doesn't have any tower forts.
Which is a very Conclusion thing to do. Never level the towers.
We got a lock on here. It's just invisible. That's a bug. Sometimes that happens. And, yeah, just crushing. That's going to be the game. Sarych taking the first game in this best of 3.
So pretty comfortable win here for Sarah. I think there was definitely a situation where Conclusion maybe could have gotten into the late game and crushed. But yeah, Sarah just overwhelming force on the left side, and with the debuffs able to prevent this from getting out of control.
Absolutely. I want to talk about Conclusion's mental right now. So he had the game against Flower Fairy, where Flower Fairy made like 2k money from enhancement module, something like that. Could be even more than 2k. That game was one of the worst feeling games I've seen in a long time. And then he just had, as his first game in the best of 3, not a single dent to Sarych. Is he mentally okay after that? Like, can he bounce back and get a win and turn this series around?
I don't know. I mean, it is what you need to be able to do, right? Like, it is part of competition. So
yeah,
let's hope that he does have the ability to reset. But I fully agree. Like, that was a painful first game. I think I even saw him just being offline after that one. So I think he took a bit of a breather in between that game and this lower bracket first series happening. But I mean, let's see, you know, like, this wasn't the worst game. I think he had some options here, just kind of got out tempoed. The pack wasn't the best either. Not a great starting matchup. So, you know, you have more options here.
Definitely agree there. I think he should stay away from the Mustang packs here. I think we have data that he picks Mustangs and Hounds like a lot more than other players. Yeah, often starts with Mustang, like more than every other MAG1 player except for one. There's only one other person who opens Mustang more than Conclusion. And you can see the volatility of it. Like, this game, he just couldn't do anything against the sledge start with the arcs.
Yeah, it's just not the matchup that you want to see. Like, that is just the worst scenario. Like, you start Mustang Crawler and you see Arclight Sledge on the other side.
Exactly. Man, Conclusion is a seasoned player. Like, he's been around since the very beginning, played in tons of tournaments. I think he can mentally reset. I mean, I'm sure he's had other tournaments where he's been frustrated before, so he's been through all of this. But I don't know, like, it's MAG1 semifinals, basically the highest stakes you can find in Mechabellum esports. He knows a lot of people are watching him, and so I can understand if there's either nerves or like frustrations. But yeah, I'm hoping for him, because I know he's capable. He's been playing so good this season.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, just rooting for, just a good game, right? Like, you want to have one game that just feels like you were in it. Send it to that game 3, get that win in. I think that would be the best case scenario.
Yeah, for sure. You just need that one win. You're just reset. God, the difference between their heat maps is so funny. It's like a lot of yellow versus like just orange. There's like a
Sarych
fire.
just seemingly having played a lot in the past season.
Yeah. Sarah's just looks like fire, you know? Like, it just looks like some flames, whereas Conclusion is like drops of rain or something.
I do kind of wonder, though, like, what happened on the top left corner with Sarah. Like,
yeah. Some sort of, like, maybe they put balls there sometimes.
Maybe, yeah.
It's like a round 1, balls or something. Not sure what else would go in a corner like that, but yeah, Sarah opens up balls more than every other MAG1 player. We have a stat on that. So, yeah, that's my theory.
I mean, they have a lot of units they like to invest more than others. Rhino, Wasp, Phoenix, Steel Ball, and Hound. With the Rhino being a whopping 450% more than the MAG1 average. That is crazy.
All right, we're getting into our second game of this best of 3. Sarych up 1-0.
Gonna get some steel balls here for Conclusion. A quick supply pack to boot. And the training spec this time around going to be on Sarah's side with a similar pack here. Sledges and arc lights.
This is so much better for Conclusion. Like, I think if Conclusion opened up Mustangs here, he would have been screwed once again. But 400 supplies from his quick supply with balls. I mean, sure, balls are not like amazing into sledges, but it's not like they're unplayable either. And with 400 supplies available to him, I think he's fine. It's like the exact same setup, by the way. Like, Sarych is just feeling good about what just happened. They're saying, why not run it back, right?
Yeah, they're kind of known to play a lot of marksman on aggro. Like, you could have expected something like Phoenix here from other players, but Sarych is happy to go double marksman and level one of them.
Yep. And arc lights are the choice of chaff clear. Now, of course, there are no chaff, so Sarych is going to feel very happy about that. Even has the blue marksman. So those balls are going to be not super helpful. Now, maybe they'll get the tower. Maybe some good debuffs will happen. We'll see if Conclusion will spend the last 200. I kind of hope they don't, because I think they're not actually favored on this round.
Yeah, the scary thing here is that marksman does one-shot steel balls, I believe, and arc lights.
That's right.
It's a pretty big deal, but this is a really nice right side attack. We'll get a quick debuff. And steel ball's doing an okay job so far. Yeah, really nice debuff timer.
Yeah. Pretty clutch, honestly, and like experience definitely relevant here, particularly for Conclusion. Like, ball levels are huge. Arc light level is going to be perhaps big as well. I think ball level is really what you want here, though. It really like activates a Wraith plan, for example, if you were to go into that, or just in general, like if you get heavy armor dropping, great HP per supply.
Man, that marksman though.
Yep.
Putting in the work on round one, 23k damage dealt. We'll take the win for Sarah.
Yeah, you have to imagine improved firepower is good here. The reason why Sarych picks it like instantly is because they are training specialists, so they get that level up every odd round, and so, you know, they can like buy a Mustang, give it a level, give it the item, and there's just nothing stopping it.
Yeah, Mustang into level up next round, I think quite likely.
Yeah, Conclusion just doing it without that level up benefit. So if we see that mirror, certainly the Mustang gonna get out of control for Sarych, relatively speaking. And finally getting that chaff. So despite arc lights existing, you do still have to buy that chaff, of course. I think they could have not and been fine, but I think it makes sense to do it just in case.
Well, pretty tame round here from Sarah. Just gonna go triple crawler. We saw that last game as well. And that might prevent the steel balls from going tower this time around.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the aggro manip is different, and this blue marksman gonna one-shot the tower while there's still some firepower there to kill these remaining steel balls.
That's a really big deal, because Conclusion would love these Mustangs to grab a whole bunch of experience, maybe even kill that blue marksman and get a level up, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
Absolutely right. Yeah. It's so critical. Like, these early rounds in Mechabellum are mostly about experience. Like, sometimes the player damage gets pretty severe, but in any case, we get unit reinforcements round 3 here. Fortress, obviously, really valuable if you value that unlock. But Sarych, their favorite unit, the Phantom Ray, it's level 3 with potential for more levels and improved firepower on it. This thing could become quite the menace.
It's scary. Don't think we'll get that improved. Yeah, okay, that is going to go on a leveled Mustang, but it kind of sets up a threat of something like armor enhancement.
Yep. Definitely agree there. It's one of the best units to take armor with on the game because they already have a decent health pool for a flying unit. And then, of course, it just completely shuts down the opposing player's Mustangs. And even, like, trying to snipe them down with marksmans, really not easy without, like, levels or techs.
Looks like Conclusion is just going to be going for a Fortress Mustang game. Hasn't seen as much play as of late. I think mainly also because Abyss tends to do quite well into that.
Yeah. It looks good though, like instantly hitting those sledgehammers, which the balls are struggling against, kind of unlocks your Mustangs and they can actually do their DPS. It's just a great scaling giant in general, so I do like to see that picked here. But I do think for now, Sarych still has quite the edge. Tower's gonna fall. Oh, it got leveled, but yeah, it's gonna fall, and then I think the fortress will fall to all this DPS coming in.
Yeah, Stang's kind of stuck on those high-level phantoms for now.
Huge DPS there.
Cleaning up here, not too bad.
Not bad, not bad. But getting
Mustangs
a little bit
grab
low.
a level.
Yeah, that's good. Keep that parity. Ooh, another intensive.
Another intensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
This game got intense. Ha ha ha. There's the armor.
Very nice.
17,000 HP per Phantom Ray. And the Mustangs no longer deal any damage to them. That is so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, these guys block 240 damage. Every shot that they take, every instance of damage headed towards them, so they're definitely a problem.
Yeah. And the thing is, Conclusion is so low on HP that like these sort of like scam rounds where like you just can't deal with a particular unit, it really hurts. Like you just don't have a lot of room left, and like we see in these high MMR matches that like the blue war factories can just come down and end the game.
Yeah, and the other thing here too is like, what do you do about this if you're Conclusion? Because you kind of want to just be able to invest into your Mustangs and Fortresses, but
Yep.
the Phantom Rays are going to prevent that from being a thing.
Could we see boats maybe? I wonder, because he loves boats.
Yeah, but playing boats into existing Mustang and Marksman?
True. Yeah, and like
Little
Raiden's
scary.
not enough damage, I feel. So like, I don't know, man. Like you
It's
could
tough.
go Phoenix, Melter. I don't know.
I mean, maybe Melter is your best chance. I don't know. Like, high-level Phoenix feels a bit sketchy. Raiden too expensive.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Fairlight provides. High-level Phoenix shows up. That's very nice.
That's a big moment, yeah. I mean, his HP is getting low. This thing is helpful against the War Factory gut shot, should that come out. Sarych taking their time. Barrier technology coming out on the fortresses. Not a bad option for sure. Rhinos. Armor.
I mean, it is a Sarych game after all.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the Rhino armor?
I mean, Rhino armor is probably like the best tech on that unit, so I don't mind it if you're gonna pick Rhino. You get a lot of stats for very little investment. It's a bit sketchy into the high level Phoenix drop, the steel balls, and the fortress, but if anyone knows how to play this, it is going to be Sarah, so I'll just trust them.
Yeah, I feel you. For me, it felt like one of the weaker options for the pick, but
Yeah.
I think they just value escorting chaff quite a bit. Like rhinos are pretty good at protecting chaff. We can see he's doing a bit of both, right? Like one of his rhinos is there to protect the chaff. The other ones are one of them is behind the chaff, so kind of mixing it up. Might get a few chops in.
It's also a very Sarah thing. They seem to value deployments very highly. Like they very rarely will be seen selling stuff.
Yeah, true.
So picking just a pack that gives you 3 rhinos, 3 more deployments, it's a really good unit for the role that it serves, even if the role is limited. So just adding that to like a board that has every other unit might just be like the thing that they think is the play.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. The Phoenixes have been clutch, by the way. He bought a new Phantom Ray, so already killed that. We can see the tower going down. I think that's a 9-second debuff. It had no fortification. 2 fortresses still alive. Lots of safe Mustangs. 1 barrier up protecting them. Here come the Phantom Rays, though. But yeah, the Phoenix drop was just magnificent.
And now Sarych might start to get into a bit of trouble because this board from Conclusion has really been completely fixed with the addition of that Phoenix.
Indeed. There's a lightning gut shot. Sarych says, nope, I don't need a gut shot. Round 6 super supply, please.
That is wild. Okay, I mean, the idea here is that if the game goes late, which is possible if Sarych keeps losing and they have a lot of hit points, then maybe they can kind of like get an advantage in the late game. The only downside is I don't know like what their comp looks like in the late game to be able to beat like Fortress Stang.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about it, but Conclusion is scaling so much better. It's like actually kind of crazy, right? It's like, do we need to see the blue car gut shot? Like, you're like, is Sarych not doing enough gut shots?
Yeah, maybe, because I don't know what else your options are. Like you mentioned the factory, that could be a thing for 1 round. You could try to go into Fortress yourself with your Mustang, but it's a bit hard considering Conclusion's already up 3 deployments and a tech.
Yeah, you mentioned this earlier, but...
Yeah, but you don't have space for it. Like, Sarych didn't leave any, like, good spots to place a Titan, really.
You're right, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'm a bit
kind
scared,
of...
like, into the high-level Phoenix.
Yeah, exactly. And the Mustang now is also, I think, like, level 5. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling this for Conclusion now. Like, did we even level up the tower? Okay, we got 1 level on the right, none on the left. So many Mustangs everywhere. They're now getting to critical damage amounts. One of the Rhinos not helping with the tower there. Fort Barrier, level 2. That's so healthy here. The tower timing is going to be fantastic, I think. 7-second debuff coming in. So many Mustangs to finish off the army.
This is going to be a ton of damage coming in here.
I think so.
The 2 fortresses, you have to imagine, will live, protecting all of the small units as well. And, I mean, that super supply, it might just not get to see any use. Like,
yeah.
That only profits on round 9?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, improved Overlord. Is that ever a thing?
I mean, you need a lot of tempo to get it going. So, like, if he can somehow not lose while doing it, then absolutely. Efficient Giant, obviously decent for Conclusion. He wants a Smoke Bomb, though. Kind of an interesting pickup. Very good against the Mustangs. Has to be careful not to friendly fire himself. We have a little bit of a technical issue. Sorry, guys. Black screen on stream for now.
We're back with MAG1 radio, don't you worry.
Yeah, radio us in, Rooster.
I was going to wonder about this. So Sarych picks up steel balls. This is the other thing that could work. They don't run heavy target lock, though, so they're just going to be kind of in the middle of the board here, these steel balls. But that can be potentially good into Fortress. The only downside is Conclusion does run the 1 tech that tends to prevent this, which is Rocket Punch. So I don't know, but DPS was the problem. Like, that was the clear problem here for Sarych. So adding something in the form of DPS here with the steel balls makes a lot of sense. And I mean, we've got a lot of smoke bombs here coming down. Basically, the whole board will get covered.
Yeah, they're both just landing, right? Smoke all over the map. The fortresses really not taking any damage.
Shields at this time around, though, falling a bit quicker, at least on the big fortress in the middle. Tower also will fall much faster on the left there from Conclusion. And while steel balls have managed to find some locks here, 1 fortress already down, right side though collapsing. And with that big Phoenix and the big Mustang, that level 2 tower won't be too long for this world, but Steel Ball's managing to lock onto the high-level fortress. And if there's enough chaff here, perhaps the Steel Balls can live? No, not quite going to be the case. So another big round for conclusion, excuse me. But Sarah might be turning a page here. Wasn't looking too bad.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I thought for sure that conclusion would just start completely dominating. But it was really close.
Yeah, Steel Ball certainly pulling their weights, especially with them only being level 1. No levels so far, though. And, well, we have more spells showing up in the form of that incendiary bomb.
Yeah, Spell's going to be making a big impact here. We got our own balls for conclusions. Aren't those relatively new? Or am I tripping? Have they always been there?
No, they've been there.
Okay, okay.
It's what he started with.
Gotcha.
We do have Rocket Punch here on the fortresses. So that is kind of the tech that I was worried about.
It looks so good, right? I think it looks pretty strong. Is there any chance for the balls to just kill all the forts?
They can, but you need a really good chaff to kind of tank the rocket punches when they go off.
And there's like smoke and oil and fire. This is kind of crazy. Barriers are big value here. Like the fort's just making it so you don't have to pay for that.
Doesn't quite look like that fire on the right side will get blocked though, but yeah, a good beacon might be able to save these high-level Mustangs for conclusion. Right side again. Those fortresses losing their shields relatively quick, but we still haven't seen the rocket punches, and from the looks of it, with that smoke, I mean, never mind. Don't even need the punches. Fortress is going to kill the steel balls instantly there.
Dude, there's still a level 8 Mustang as well. It's so insane. It has the item and it's level 8. Oh my god. Is this enough?
I mean, with, yeah, 2 fortresses, Mustangs, and a Phoenix pack, you have to imagine we'll do the trick.
Wow, what a comeback. Evening up the series 1-1. Winner will go on to play Flower Fairy, and unfortunately, the loser of the next game going to be eliminated in the semifinals.
Fantastic result there for conclusion. Manages to, get a foot back into the match, the day, and maybe forget a little bit about those previous games that he had.
Yeah, I'm really happy for his mental here because let's say he lost this game. He's going to feel so unhappy about how today went. At least now, if he loses the next game, he knows he brought it to a game 3, right? Like, he was a hard contender in today. And yeah, I mean, he could still win and go through. He could be a finalist at this point. His dream's still alive.
And yeah, that Phoenix drop there, so clutch. Like, he had a big problem with that high-level Phantom, but the Phoenix just allowed him to keep focusing on the board that he wanted to build. Yep. And yeah, Sarah just not managing to close things out there. The Rhino, perhaps after all, a little bit sketchy. Might have needed to buy something else.
I agree.
I like the ball idea, but it's rough when they're low level.
I totally agree. The Phoenix drop was just everything. It was so high level. Like, the thing is like, of course he could have just bought his own Phoenixes, right? But they'd be level 1. That would take so long to kill the 17,000 HP Phantom, right?
Yep. Well, this does mean that we get to see a third game, which is what we love to see.
Absolutely.
Close series. And then after this, I mean, no matter who wins this, they're already going to have played a fair bit of intense games, but I mean, arguably their biggest challenge might be up ahead with Fairy just waiting for them in that lower bracket finals.
It's so crazy. Yeah, either we get Flower Fairy versus Fang Fang finals, which is like Battle of the Titan, and like a chance for Fang Fang to show he is just as good as Flower Fairy, or we get Conclusion or Sarah first time in the finals. Conclusion never even made it to the round of 4 ever, so Conclusion's already doing incredibly well, and I'm happy for him. And yeah, this semis has just been so exciting.
And also, just to mention, all of the players here today have at least made it into the prize pool. So being in the top 4 has secured them a part of that money. So that's already nice. But of course, making it a little bit further does increase your payout. So
yeah, that's right. First place gets 500, second gets 300, and then third and fourth gets 100. So they've all at least made 100. And Fang Fang waiting in the finals has made at minimum 300. So pretty sweet for him.
Yeah. I mean, it is very nice, right? You make it through today, you triple that income.
Yeah. It's a big win for sure.
I mean, like you go from, you know, having some really nice takeout with the boys to, you know, you bring your boys out for a nice Michelin star restaurant.
That's right.
Gourmet stuff.
Here we go. Game number 3. The series is tied. Winner of this goes on to play Flower Fairy in the final match of the day. Loser will be eliminated from Season 3.
We do have a giant spec pack, which is Conclusion's favorite, but Void Eye's in there. Yeah, you know, maybe not. We're just going to go default back to the steel balls. We had some success with that, so makes us for Conclusion. Sarah, again, vertical sledges, this time hounds. Will we see marksman? I am going to wager that yes, we will.
Wow, okay. I'm excited for this too because we're going to see another speed specialist game. Now, Conclusion had really bad luck with it earlier against Flower Fairy. That was the enhancement module game. This game as well does have intensive training. Let's pray that enhancement doesn't show up. But speed not looking so great into like a headbutt. And I think this is by design. I think Sarych is saying, let's play a little bit more forward than I usually am comfortable with. And let's just mitigate that speed benefit.
I mean, high-level hound here. This is a pretty nice setup for Sarah. Kind of switching things up this time around. He was asymmetrical in the past 2 games, but going for just a symmetrical kind of center defense, you can call it, perhaps?
Yeah. It's very reactionary, right? Like, he's identified what he thinks is the proper way to play against this speed pack here. And I have to say, I think it's a great move.
Yeah, that's working out real well. Even getting a Tara debuff to boot, and Conclusion there unable to get anything done in the first round.
Yeah, not looking so hot. Obviously, lots of room to navigate here. We'll see if he's brave enough to go into Wraith. And speaking of, that is one of the free options here.
But what about Void Eye?
What about Void Eye? I mean, level 3, tons of damage. It would certainly be able to
one-shot sledgehammers now if you pick it, but
yeah. He is brave enough. All right, Wraith it is. The reason why I mentioned braveness is because, yeah, I mean, there are marksmans, and they tend to be really good into Wraiths once you take that aerial specialization tech.
It's true. Now, marksmen, however, tend not to be the best in headbutt situations. So
yes.
That could be a kind of silver lining there for Conclusion, although Sarah also identifies that the Wraith is a good headbutt unit, so maybe that levels the playing field.
Yeah. Intensive training being available also going to be pretty big. Like, Wraiths need a lot of experience, so you kind of profit quite a bit. And then their level output is like really good too. They love the HP, they love the damage. With their efficient targeting of their weapon system, it's quite powerful.
I will say, though, in this situation, I think Sarah still has the upper hand, because both of them picking Wraith means that Sarah's still ahead since they have access to that single target DPS from the marksman. And that is something Conclusion here is still missing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the intensive I mentioned, it's scary. I'm not sure what the move is. Like maybe like conclusion will go into Phoenixes and somehow get an edge from that.
Underground Threat, quick pickup here for Sarah. I mean, it's a good card to show up early. Kind of hard to deal with still, so you might be able to kind of edge an advantage for one of the players if it yields the tower debuff.
I do quite like it. Woo, mass-produced sledgehammer. What? Very cool. What's their HP at?
What
2,000.
What about anti-air though?
Yeah.
Like we used our unlock, no? To go sledge.
Correct, yeah.
We didn't add anything to the situation, which was we can't kill the enemy wraith.
That's right. And like I think it's okay to cope to an extent if it was a level 1 wraith, but it's a level 2. Level 2s are so good at being level 1s, guys. Like 2 level 1s do not beat a level 2, right? It's like it's a weird math thing where it's like a level 2 can take down like 3+ whites. So yeah.
Well, we do get a pretty big flank coming in there. The steel balls will take care of some of the marksmen, but I think this wraith will just clutch up the round. We even get a debuff there.
Yeah.
From the underground, picked up by Sarah.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. I mean, tempo is pretty crucial in a game like this, I would say. Some really sensitive units with respect to experience, and HP total's not exactly super healthy. Wraiths also deal a lot of player damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
300 a pop. That is going to put conclusion down to 3k hit points.
Oh my god, guys, I mentioned
no.
it. I'm so sorry. Caster's Curse.
Cast the Curse.
Oh my god, I feel so bad right now.
Well, complaints will be taken by Wonderboats after this game.
God, I'm in trouble. Oh no. This is so sad. Why does this keep happening to conclusion? What did he do? Like, what god did he anger?
I mean, hey, the silver lining is intensive is not off cooldown this turn, and there are, in fact, no levels available.
That is actually true. Yeah.
So it's, for now, just an expensive item that gives 20% stats to a blue wraith.
Yeah. Yeah, that is nice. Counterpoint is that Sarych has 4,700 HP, so like he's gonna have the space to eventually make a bunch of money.
Man, you just don't stop, huh? I'm trying to help a brother out here, but
I'm sorry. At least he bought a Phoenix. That's good unit.
Yeah, with charge shot already. So that wraith, not long for this world, and this kind of shapes up to be a pretty good round for conclusion.
Yeah. It was pretty key to take down that Wraith. It was definitely a problematic Wraith, and of course, we never can let it get a level naturally. You have to pay for those levels with your intensive training. We should get the round here. We lost our birds, but here come the Wraiths.
One more goes down. Debuff? Well, that, I mean, it's a level 1 marksman. Doesn't look like it'll be enough.
Yeah.
Close round, though.
Close round, yeah. Well, the bird got a level with the charge shot, so.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to kill those wraiths like ASAP, and the charge shot is a unique benefit that marksman doesn't have, right? So like you have a DPS burst. Oh my god, another one. Don't know if it matters so much.
Well, this time around, conclusion gets to pick it now that he sees the levels.
Yeah. Wow, a second one for Sarych.
That is.
Yeah.
A bit too greedy, in my opinion.
Right? I'm not sure I like that. I don't think it's like unplayable, but
I mean, if there was another level available on the level 1 Wraith, then maybe.
Sure.
But
yeah,
I don't know. Like in this scenario, it just seems overly greedy. Going to level the level 1 Wraith with the intensive, the other one's halfway through leveling, but if it goes like any similar to last round, that Phoenix should have no trouble taking it out.
Yeah, I mean, he basically just bought a small amp core for like 300 plus.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it might get some extra benefit, but yeah, just wanted to throw that analogy out there.
Also, this item goes best with giants, and it's not something that we're very used to seeing from Sarah.
Sure. Yeah. This Phoenix flank, pretty nasty. We're still using these mass-produced sledgehammers to some effect. Let's see.
And
Can the charge shot
get
Phoenixes? There's
Degen.
Degen. Yeah. Very strong ability. Photon, though, could come down at some point and just completely turn the tide, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Degen Beam is that it's not even like that insane right now. Like, if there weren't the Phoenixes, then maybe, but like with the charge shot Phoenixes being there, I feel like you kind of wanted range to try and keep your units alive.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so not a big win for Sarych, and crucially, at least the enhancement module one I tracked didn't get a level. Yeah, neither of them did. Okay. And we see some Wraith levels for conclusion. EMP versus Photon. Photon here for conclusion is huge. It stops the EMP, and then it stops the degen aura. But no, conclusion wants the greedy line, takes the amp core. That's really, really good on a Wraith. Goes for the guns. That's going to be very sad here, as it will get EMP'd, but at least one of them, the Giga one, will be safe. Rhino's coming out.
And I mean, again here, Sarah not getting any value out of the enhancement module this round.
That's right, yeah. This EMP, though, man, makes me sad, because I feel like conclusion was kind of owning otherwise. Like, the charge shot's going to be neutralized as well.
That is true, yeah. This could be a really big round for Sarah. Also has that AA available now on the marksman, so might get some quick locks.
Yeah. I like the Rhino use to parry these mass-produced sledges. It's going to get the left tower, too, eventually.
More Wraith being added to help the flank as well.
Yep. Yeah, it's a cool move, too, because the degen's just really strong defensively. But remember, the EMP is only 25 seconds. It will eventually come off, and then the 8 arms will activate, but we can see the aerial specialization marks really owning those Wraiths, both of them actually down in the center there. But we do have the Giga Chad with the amp core on the right. We can see it DPSing that Rhino. Pretty impressive damage output there.
Okay, we do get a debuff at the perfect timing here to make sure that that Wraith doesn't die to the charge shot Phoenix. But, I mean, that's not that big of a round.
Nope, no.
And in fact, okay, no, it won't be a win for conclusion, but that's awfully close when, like, half of your carries got EMP'd.
Yeah, you took the amp core, so now you've got the, like, the greed line activated. No levels for Sarych on those enhancement modules. His intensive is off cooldown, though, and we get some air here. Raiden picked up from Sarych.
Now, Raiden might be able to do something here with levels, potentially a 3rd level. It could just have enough damage to even take out the tanky targets.
That's fair. You know what I'm thinking here is conclusion can put these phantom rays on the rhinos. Could be decent. Is that EMP on the Raidens? Yeah. Dude, conclusion really needs Photon, man. Like, if he has that on the boat, which I think he does, I feel like it'd be pretty game winning, because the degen aura gets photons, like that's just an interaction in the game. And then now you see these Raidens, which tech DMP, you just neutralize that. And like, honestly, the boat DPS, pretty real as well. Impact drill. Uh-oh.
Whoa. Okay. Well, there is that underground threat, and the right side is not defended, so that probably will get Sarah another tower debuff.
Yeah, it could be a situation where conclusion dies to tempo, to cheese, whatever you want to call it. Oh, we drilled back.
Okay.
That's a surprising move, but it's certainly going to work. You know, it represents some decent damage against towers, against rhinos and all of that as well. Like, it could be better than it looks.
A very nice move here. There is still 1.5 packs of crawlers, but it looks like it'll be thinned enough to where the fangs can take care of them. So, crisis avoided.
One Raiden on the right dies, but here comes the blue one. The Phantom Rays, though, applying their damage. Looking pretty dang good for conclusion. I guess the left side is still a concern here. The Rhino's going to go on the tower here. The Marksmen with their long range turning, taking shots at the Wraiths, but can they get the job done?
And Wraith here might pick up another level. It's not too far off, and it has that enhancement module. Actually will be going down. But Marksman, even at level 3 with AA, unable to take down this level 3 Wraith with the Amp Core.
Yeah, which just leveled barely at the end of the round there. So still small wins back and forth. But yeah, have to say Conclusion is scaling better. Unless the Raidens get out of hand, but... Oh, I think advanced targeting kind of decent in Wraith battles, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, for now, it seems like Sarah just can't contest the Wraith whatsoever. Like, having clicked Degen Beam makes it so much more expensive to get into range and 8-gun, which you might want, but again, that costs a lot of money. So maybe you don't care about the range too much.
Yeah. Raiden range picked up.
Back.
Yeah, that looks unanswered, I think.
Should come through. Now, Raidens do scale very, very well. So, with Sarah still being healthy, that could become a concern down the line.
Yeah. It's tough. You need to either, like, get a bunch of wasps going or something. Or, I mean, just crawlers are fine as well, I guess. Or you need to get the photon out, right?
Yeah. I think he runs it on his boats, but I mean, maybe not.
I think so too.
Like, the fact that we haven't seen it yet
might
also indicate that he runs like the full carry tech with HE and Wasp spawn.
Yeah, he might have taken it off for today as well, right? Like, who knows? Who knows what prep he did, so... In any case, the spell was offered earlier. He didn't take it as well. Took the Amp Core instead. The EMP will be back next round, and what do you do against that EMP that's coming?
I mean, well, the easy answer would be the Photon. If it's available.
Dude, this
man, these Wraith though from Sarah are getting absolutely demolished at the start of the round, and that means all these crawlers just get in,
bro. Huge damage.
Shaft clear, massive problem here for Sarah. I mean, never mind about that Tara debuff. This wasn't looking good even without.
Dude, how much damage is this? It's never game, but like...
Oh, it's a ton.
It's a ton. Okay, anybody's game. I mean, the EMP comes down now. Conclusion needs to not die. He got a level with that enhancement module. Intensive shows up. That's going to be good for both players. Anti-interference module, kind of low-key relevant. Conclusion going to take his time here.
Double intensive. The other one's off cooldown too, so...
Yep.
Lots of levels available here for Sarah.
Yep. All right, another tech on the Raidens. That's going to be the chain. So now shooting 6 targets with that EMP. Okay, he has Photon, guys. This is such a big moment. This is like the perfect thing for his army right now. Like, surely he's got the game now. He's been winning everywhere, and just like... only weird things like EMP and stuff or spells have given him problems.
Yeah, but the photons come out finally.
Like, maybe...
I just don't see how Sarah's gonna chaff clear here. Like, those Degen Beam Wraiths instantly die. Yeah, but I mean, a chain like helps a little, but...
yeah.
Not in this close range fight, you would imagine. Like, they shoot so slow.
Yeah, you're probably right. It will help, but yeah. Ooh, Subterranean Blitz. Let's see. Everything should be Photon on the right. Except for the boats, but that's fine.
Yep, so EMP here won't lock, and that's a pretty big deal since we can see that the chains would have hit the Wraith. Right
yeah, the
side,
Wraith's
crawlers.
died. Yeah, streaming in.
Can, but there's still
tons
like
of
these
crawlers.
3 super high level Wraith left alive. One of them level 4. I mean, the Charge Shot Phoenix is actually still in there as well. EMP though might hit. Never mind. You can see the late crawlers are there, unable to be dealt with. And that'll mean Conclusion punches his ticket to the next round where he'll face Flower Fairy in a best of 3. And Sarah will get eliminated.
That was quite the series. I just can't believe Conclusion battling back through those enhancement modules, through such a tough looking game. And yeah, I mean, Sarah looked unstoppable this tournament. Finally met their match in the semis. This is obviously, you know, one of the hardest parts of the tournament. Punching your ticket to the final is just like crazy hard. There's only beasts left in the tournament, and yeah, Conclusion's dream's still alive. We'll see if he can take down Flower Fairy and have a non-201 finals. Well, I mean, still half 201, but not full 201.
And I just want to like quickly highlight there for the people that weren't watching in game. Sarah said at the end of the game, "Thanks for the games.